In this final module, we are going to talk about being a memorable speaker and how to captivate and keep your audience's attention. This is a crucial concept to grasp and eventually master, because if you can't hold your audience's attention, then it doesn't matter how important your message or idea is or how good your product is, you won't have ears to listen to what you're saying. It's like going back to college days and listening to a boring lecturer or professor. You know the information your prof is giving you is good material, but sometimes it's hard to stay awake and focus because their tone is so monotonous and lifeless, and then you end up falling asleep. That is not what I want you to default to. We are trying to steer as far away from that kind of delivery as possible. I'm not saying all of my profs are like that. I'm just saying, giving you an example of maybe one. In my program, Ace Your Public Speaking, I have an entire section dedicated to how to be a compelling speaker. I feel that this is such an important skill to grasp that I've committed a lot of time to teaching it. That section includes countless tips and exercises, kind of like speaking boot camp, actually. But for this series, we will go over one concept I know will help you improve your delivery in a way that has more life and character. So let's talk about the power of the pause. Often when we present an idea in front of others, there is this belief that we as a speaker have to fill every second of every moment with words. In fact, it seems we force ourselves to do this because we are uncomfortable with silence. I mean, have you ever been in a situation where you're talking to someone and then there is that awkward silence and you aren't quite sure what to do, but it makes you feel weird, and then suddenly both of you start talking and then you're talking over each other, and then you both stop and then it's just weird and awkward again. So that's, so that feeling is very similar to public speaking or presenting, right? We feel like we have to fill every moment when we speak. But this is a habit that I love to break for many of my students, because once they discover the power of silence and pausing, it really elevates the quality of their speech by leaps and bounds. I want to reframe your mind and teach you that silence can be your best friend. Silence can be powerful, and silence can sometimes convey a message all on its own. We have to learn to get used to sitting in silence and discover how much more interesting it can make your speech. Let me give you an example of a delivery with a pause and one without, okay? So it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. I approached the river and this monster came out, okay? So let me do one with pauses. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen. I approached the river and then this monster came out. All right, think for a second which delivery was more powerful or captivating, or which one got your attention. Without a doubt, it's going to be the one with the pauses, right? But if you notice, my delivery with the pauses wasn't, like fake or anything. It sort of felt real. I'm highlighting the real part because it's important that you don't start putting pauses anywhere and everywhere in your speech because you think it's where it goes. I want you to think about what message you're trying to convey and then pause where it naturally fits. So here are some reasons to include more pauses in your speech. Write this down. Number 1, the pauses will give you a moment to collect your thoughts if you get sidetracked, okay? Help you collect your thoughts. So instead of filling that space when you're trying to collect your thoughts with filler words like ahs and ums, which is what the majority of people do, it's better to just stop for a second in that silence to regroup. So try that next time. If you feel like you're using a lot of filler words, try to pause instead and see what the quality of your speech comes across as like, okay? Number 2, pauses also give your audience a moment to digest the things that you're saying. So if you ask them a question or just finish saying something thought-provoking, don't just rush on to the next thing. Pause for a few more seconds to allow your audience to soak it up. Okay, don't rush into the next thought, right? If you're asking them, how is everyone doing today? Don't just go, oh, good, good, good. Okay, moving on. Actually stop for a second and let them respond to you. Let them nod or smile or cheer or whatever. Number 3, pauses also tell your audience that you're about to say something very important, and it's a sign for them to listen up and pay attention. So if you deliver without a pause for this purpose, your message might get lost or the impact won't be the same. Going back to that monster story, you'll notice that I paused right before saying monster. I've created some suspense by pausing right before saying the word, which helps to keep your attention because you're wondering, oh, what is it? What came out of the river, right? As with the video exercise in the module where I talk about clarity, I encourage you to also record yourself on your phone and speak for 1 to 2 minutes about anything and see if you can naturally find places to pause. And then of course, watch it back and see if it's made a difference in your delivery. Before we wrap up this module, I want you to know that the art of public speaking isn't something that most of us can achieve overnight. It certainly wasn't the case for me. If you really, really want to get better at this craft, my advice to you is to keep practicing and be patient with yourself. As long as you are consistent in your practice, you will see improvement. I promise you that. All right? That brings us to the end of the free series. Thank you again for making time to watch the 3 modules and learn. I hope that you are leaving with some perspective and knowledge about public speaking, and I'm confident what I've taught you will help you on your journey. What we've gone through in this series is meant to give you a head start on improving your delivery, but there is so much more that I can teach you. My program called Ace Your Public Speaking dives even further into the concepts that we've gone through in Public Speaking Essentials, but also includes a whole whack of other strategies and tips to elevate your public speaking and presentation skills. It's a 2.5-hour robust course that will address your speech habits and tics to increase your credibility in your delivery. We will go further into how to manage fear and anxiety. You'll be provided even more tactics to polish your delivery and captivate your audience. And then we will talk about authenticity and staying true to who you are. These strategies, tactics, and tips that I teach in Ace Your Public Speaking are really effective, very effective. Many of my students that I've taught have gone on to speak in front of large audiences, represent and speak on behalf of their companies on a public platform, or grow their businesses because they can convey their message in an eloquent and concise way. But beyond that, the achievement that I've heard the most is that they've all gained so much confidence in expressing themselves in any scenario. I know the tools taught in Ace Your Public Speaking will help you achieve goals like speaking confidently in any setting, crushing an upcoming sales presentation, or acing an interview. I'm just giving you a few examples. And the thing is, right now, I'm offering a special deal for those who register now. For a limited time, you can save $50 on the Ace Your Public Speaking course. $50. I'm confident once you finish it, you will be able to implement some of the skills immediately to elevate your delivery right away. And the thing is, this course comes at no risk to you. If you aren't happy, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So all you have to do is click on the link. I look forward to working with you. Have a wonderful day.